I know many of you, like myself, probably have quite a few games. Hey, turn on. That are actually non-Steam games that you play on your deck. So I was kind of looking around at like different artwork, and of course, Amu Deck, which I've covered previously, has oh uses SteamGridDB to provide cover artwork. So I was trying to look around for something that I could like spruce up some of like the artwork on some of my non-Steam games. And I've obviously like changed it around here, but it worked differently than what I thought it would. So I looked at MetaDeck, and that just manages like the time you spend in non-Steam games. But so that's really not important for what I was looking for. So I went to SteamGridDB, and it's like, okay, your option is to download it, or there are actually a couple other options, and one of them was recently added to Decky Loader. But Decky Loader is kind of a bit simpler than the desktop mode option, so I'm actually going to go into desktop mode and show kind of how that process works first before going into the one that works straight in the Steam UI. Okay, so in order to do this one, what you got to do is you go into the web browser, and then you can go to SteamGridDB. And what SteamGridDB has is, a couple different options. So if I go down and look at even some of the games that they have here, you can see that they've got like your download. So if I bring it up closer, so they've got this like apply with Boop. So what's cool is Boop, if you hit that link right there, SGD Boop, and then you either can install it on Windows, and what this allows you to do is actually change the artwork straight from the website in your Steam games. So if you're on Steam Deck, you're going to install the Flatpak version, but you've also got other options as well. And then you can test the integration, and then you've got to hit that enable switch to turn it on. So what it does is, if you're running it from the web browser, is you can go to browse, and let me look at my Steam library, because there are some games that I have not done this with. Yes. I may save that one for different. So set it to show those ones. So let's say, so I've already done it with Stardew Valley, and I've already done it with Taisei, even though it hasn't changed the icon. Actually, phase 1. That's it. So I can go in here, and I can search for Freedom, and it'll pull it right up. So what it will do standard is you can go in through the artwork here. So let's go into phase 1 real quick. So I will hit that apply with Boop non-Steam, because Free Doom Phase 1 is a non-Steam game. I'll hit that, and then it'll come up with this list. So if it can detect or match the name to something that's in the list here, it will actually have that automatically selected. And since I'm on phase 1, I will use phase 1. And so that is the wide grid option. So it's the wider one on the home screen that it will put that cover on. And then we can go and we can do this one for the taller one, which shows up in the standard grid, and select phase 1, and boom. Then I can go down here. I can apply with Boop, and the top here is basically the when you open the game info, it's kind of the artwork that they have in that top area, the banner area, basically. And then apply that. And then we'll select that one for the logo, and boom, and boom. So this allows you to kind of select manually what game it's going to go into. And yeah, so it works pretty well. This is how I did most of my games, basically, in switching them up. So if I go back into gaming mode, I should now have that one set up for Free Doom Phase 1. Okay. So if I go into my library, non-Steam, let's see, Phase 1, didn't want to change it. So that's the normal process. It worked for all the other games, so that's what I did. So some of the other options you may notice is like the animated artwork there. I don't know why that didn't work, but so like I did that process with Prism Launcher. And actually, I believe I did that with, no, I did not. I did the other process with it. So this other process is kind of hit and miss as well. So it's not exactly perfect, but so I should show where I went to. So if you go into the Decky stuff, you go into Decky Store, and you go all the way to the bottom now, I believe is where it's at. SteamGridDB. So this lets you browse artwork and actually apply it to games. So when you have it installed, you can go to SteamGrid. It just shows that stuff in the sidebar one. So when you go into the cog here in your game, you can go change artwork and it'll pull up this page here. So now I can go through and I can change the artwork for various things. So like the capsule, the standard capsule, can select that one. And it says it's successfully applied. And then here's our wide capsule. Boom. Then here's our hero. And then finally, our logo is kind of probably the one you're going to be mainly looking at changing. You do have the option of doing the icon, but then it wants to restart Steam after you do. So, yeah. And then if you happen to have one downloaded, you can actually go in and like select a different one, and it'll let you browse through the files to look for it. So when I go back, you can see that it's actually changed all that stuff in it. Come on. And that Daggerfall Unity actually has, a proper capsule on it. So if you've got a game that doesn't show up, we can go into change artwork, and it's going to have a hard time finding it. So what we do is we can, what? Let's see. So we can go in and select a different one, I believe. So, like I said, this is kind of hit and miss. It may not apply it to Free Orion, which we'll see if it does. So it looks like it is actually changing it, so... So yeah, it did change it. So what's weird is when I tried to do it with Atom RPG, I go into like hero, and then I change it to something like this. And it doesn't change. So, like I said, it's kind of hit and miss with some of these, it seems. But for the most part, you can get halfway decent artwork going. So, like Knights of the Old Republic, which is the non-Steam version, and Stardew Valley both have animated things to them. So, like maybe something, if you've got something installed through Heroic, you can go in, change the artwork, and maybe you just want to change the hero, so you go bonk. And we go there. Then we change the logo to that. And it doesn't exactly change. So some of it, I'm not sure what is going on with it, but that might be something in Hero itself or have to be changed manually in Steam otherwise, which is an option because you can manually download all of the artwork to your thing. So yeah, that's basically for most of your artwork. If it's looking pretty empty and you want it to feel pretty full, you can get it pretty full looking. So if you enjoyed the video, then like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm, boost the video up, share this video with your friends. If you found it informative or you just want to chat, I've got plenty of places in the description, Discord, Guilded, and what have you. Check those out, and I will see you guys in the next one.